Super Dynamic Menace, and we're continuing on with Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh, hold on. Somebody's causing trouble in my neighborhood. All right, let's see. Or somebody's sick. Oh, it's the Shocker again. All right. All right. Didn't expect to see a camo. Oh, cameo, not a camo. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, there's some big stuff going on at Marvel. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, loved it. Hugh Jackman was great. He was really, really great. If you've seen him in interviews, you know he is nothing like Logan or anything. Which is, I mean, it's acting, like you expect that, you know. He's not gonna be just like the character, but it's in contrast to Ryan Reynolds, because Ryan Reynolds is pretty much acting like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. But I mentioned this all to say that, like, even this version of Wolverine that's in this movie feels like there's subtle differences that set him apart from the other version of Logan that he's played before. The one that we know from the old X-Men movies. All right. Your lunch. Your lunch. There's a way to grab people too. And then I can break him like so. Look. You really gotta keep an eye on his health, because it is constantly draining. Alright, so you wanna use the baddies kind of like snacks, right? They're like jalapeno poppers. Alright. And the backbreaker, like so. Wait, what was it? I'm a big fan of that backbreaker. Yeah. Some of these stories, like, yeah, you get a good amount of distance from them, you forget how good they are. One of my favorite Spider-Man stories was, I think it was over the entire, like, little saga or whatever it was called, the Gauntlet. If I remember right, I think that Craven, or the Craven family, was going out of their way to mess with Spider-Man. They were releasing a bunch of his villains and kind of sicking them on him. One of the stories amongst all of them was called Shed, and it was about the Lizard. But basically, you follow Kurt Connors for the most part, and his life sucks. You know, being the Lizard has kind of destroyed his career and his reputation. He works at like this shitty laboratory for this dude who's kind of a slime ball. He keeps him under his thumb because he knows he has nowhere else to go, and he has to kind of take this position that's beneath him because nobody else will hire him. He keeps freaking out and turning into a lizard. The Craven family kind of low-key induces his transformation into the lizard. Like, the people that are around him don't help, you know. Like, his boss is kind of a dickhead. You know, he's kind of like Bruce Banner, where being stressed out or pissed will induce an episode. And one of the things is that, like, his family is, I don't know if his wife was dead. I know his family's like staying, or his son's staying like an orphanage. And they established that, like, every time the lizard pops out, the lizard tries to kill his son. The lizard views Kurt Connors as a rival male. So he's trying to kill his kid all the time, every time he transforms. So as soon as Spider-Man recognizes that the lizard's on the loose, he tries to mobilize protection around the kid, you know? Tries to get to the orphanage in time, but the kid's already been abducted. You know, it turns out it's by the Craven family. They move the kid just to serve him up on a platter to the lizard, right? And see the kid kind of wake up, right? They had knocked him unconscious. Kid wakes up just as the lizard's getting there. And you can kind of, there's like a thought bubble in the very back of the lizard's mind. Like he's a passenger watching through the eyes of the lizard. And he's like pleading with the lizard not to fucking kill his son. Kurt Connors has to watch the lizard eat his son, right? And he just essentially commits suicide, and he they say he just dissolves and dissipates into the subconscious of the lizard, and the lizard kind of absorbs him, and he becomes intelligent. He gains like Kurt Connors' intelligence, and he kind of powers up. I think he gets like some new abilities where he can actually like hypnotize people or something like that. I don't know. It's a good story. It's pretty messed up, but it makes him formidable as an adversary for Spider-Man. Yeah, I know a lot of people talk about, all right, let me see, who their favorite Spider-Man is, you know, in the movies. And I just have a weird and difficult time picking my favorite cinematic Spider-Man. I've read so many of the comics. Like, don't get me wrong, other people have probably, I know they've read more than me, but I've seen so many different versions in the comics. Having different depictions in the movies feels natural, you know, feels samey. There are things that I like more in particular depictions than in other ones, right? Try to stay focused and get this combat tour going. All right. You're down. Yeah, I like that they kept Tom Holland in school, in high school. I also like that he feels like a nerdy Peter Parker when he's just Pete, and then he also feels like Spider-Man with like the jokes and the quips and stuff like that. Yeah, it made sense for the story they were telling to have him be Iron Man Jr., as everyone likes to refer to him as, you know? Because all those movies were his origin story, like figuring out that, finding his journey, you know, on being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man where he only has himself to rely on, and figuring out that this job is a fucking burden, you know? Because in the early movies, he's excited to be a superhero. He's excited to be an Avenger, and he wants to be a superhero. And it's not until you start getting to, what was it? Far From Home, after he'd been snapped away, where he starts realizing that, dude, this job fucking sucks. And that's a big thing for me with why I love Peter Parker. Like, this job is a burden, you know? It's hard. It's hard being Spider-Man. And it would be so much easier if he just set down this bag of bricks and just lived his life. But if he does that, then people get hurt. So he does the noble thing. And he does the job for all of us. And when Spider-Man prospers, Peter Parker suffers. The girl he likes is tired of waiting for him, and, you know, his friends think he's a flake and he's lame and he can't rely on him, and his aunt thinks she can't rely on him, you know? Whoop, ooh. All right, can we do this? I don't remember how to fight. Eddie. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Oh, wow, shit. Okay. All right. Gross. All right. Oof. Yeah, if you stay too close to him, you kind of have this little meltdown. All right, he's almost done. He's on his last leg. Got him. I really like Andrew Garfield's his Spider-Man, and his Spider-Man suit in the second movie is amazing. No pun intended. And I know a lot of people say that like his Peter Parker is a little too cool, but I feel like his Peter Parker was how they depicted Peter Parker in the Ultimate Comics, where he was like less nerdy. I think I said this last episode. He's less like overtly nerdy and wallflowery, but he's more like an outsider, you know? Like, I remember comics where he would like talk shit to Nick Fury and everything, and he doesn't. It's not when he's Spider-Man, you know. It's Peter Parker, you know. If he thinks something is wrong, like he'll speak up. He's not like a shy, like wallflower, like the '60s era Spider-Man was, and I feel like that's what they were going for with the Sam Raimi ones, where he was like very much more. What you would picture as a nerd in the 80s, like in the 80s movies, you know, with pocket protector and the glass, the tape on his glasses and stuff. You know, this character's been around since the 60s, I believe, right? All kinds of different takes and different media. You know, these characters are malleable. I feel like as long as you get the spirit right, that's all that matters, you know? You can make little changes here and there as you reinvent and update the character for modern times, you know? Because I think that was the whole reason they made Ultimate Spider-Man the comics, because it just needed like an update and a refresh, you know? Kids weren't playing like chemistry sets anymore, or they made the switch from a newspaper photographer to like somebody who wait.
Thanks, Spider-Man.
Somebody who runs the Daily Bugle's webpage, right? It's like little updates, you know? So you're going from like the 60s to like, when did Ultimate Spider-Man come? I want to say like the early 2000s, I think, if I'm remembering that right.
You have no idea how much.
That's when I started reading it anyway. I just love that he's not the best superhero, right? He screws up a lot. That's kind of on brand for him, making mistakes. But it's not the idea that he never makes mistakes. It's how he responds to them. You know, how he makes it right.
This suit Eddie has,
He doesn't give up.
by our fathers, but it used my dad's DNA.
And I think they actually list that as one of his powers and abilities, right? In the Marvel database, like his willpower.
Yeah, in a creepy way.
All right, what do we got going on?
When I got close to it in the museum, it felt like my brain was going to crawl out of my face.
Ew. Ew again.
Sorry,
Do you know what you're doing?
kind of.
What is it?
I have no idea.
What are those black things?
Yeah, that's the I have no idea part.
Edward? Edward, wake up. Edward, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
Your home, Edward. This is where what you've become was born.
I know you.
Bolivar Trask, this is my associate, Dr. Adrian Toombs.
Like this Eddie Brock kind of looks like a
Your father's lab. I was there when he and Dr. Parker.
drop
Get
out
to business, shall we, Edward?
fucking
The
douchebag,
suit is worth billions of dollars
Right.
in government contracts. We wish to test
This
it.
suit, it's
6 piercings and a soul patch.
It will kill you if we leave you in there alone.
Like not like the muscle bound like
We will find
meathead
someone else to
from the
test it.
comics or the original comics.
Together, Edward, we will get what we are after.
all right. What do I do first?
There's been a few different versions of Eddie Brock though that we've seen. If I had to say my preference, it is the OG meathead rival photographer.
400 grand
Right.
and all the new
Mm-hmm. I feel like Electro would power up more though, right?
Wait a
Like he
second.
didn't.
Are you
He was.
fighting another superhero on the side?
Hold on.
I thought you and me had something special. I bet it's Daredevil, isn't it? What does he have? Back off, kid.
I did it. I finally got that little yutz.
All right, let's finish this up.
No, like hell. I got dibs.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I think I almost got him. All right, yes, health bars were right there. Where's he going? Where do you think you're going? That's right. He absorbs power from like one of these big signs in Times Square.
That's more like it.
Come on. Ooh. All right, where is he at? Jeez, he got all his health back. Oh, he gets his health back from the absorbing power on the signs, huh? Okay, okay. Then we got him. Shield to the rescue, guys.
Please.
They're trying to dogpile him. I like it. To get away? Of course he does.
Peter, come on, kiddo, wake up.
What are you doing here?
Come on, get up.
Why can't you keep this electric guy you're supposed to be keeping in prison? And that lady, the silver lady that captured Eddie the other day. Why couldn't she?
Peter, you need to call.
I need to quit getting almost killed by stupid people is what I need.
He's got a point, Nick. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this episode. I appreciate you hanging out with me so much. Leave me a like if you like our content. Subscribe. You get new episodes every single day. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks.